Alright guys, today on what to do, the tutorial is this Chevy C4500. This is a 2005 Duramax Diesel, and we're going to change the idler pulley. Here's our new idler pulley here, and this is actually I got from the dealership, and there is your GM number right there, 980-57284. Alright. And to loosen that serpentine belt, I actually have a toolkit here in my box. This is an Evercraft one I got from Napa. Serpentine belt tool, part number 7769078. And it's a pretty handy tool to get down in those tight spots. So you basically just set this on. It'll lock in whatever angle you need it on to get that leverage. But you just pretty much lock this in there. And now you can use this whole bar here to get down in there. Come up here. So here's your alternator, and here you have a pulley here, and then over here is your tensioner pulley. But down deeper below that, there is another pulley. Let's see if I can get to it. Tensioner pulley, there it is, that one right down there, right next to the tensioner pulley. And that's going to be a 9/16 bolt. You may or may not need a leverage bar depending on how tight it is. So we're going to try to get a ratchet down in there and take that off. But the first thing we're going to need to do is we got to take the tension off of the serpentine belt. And you do that by, on your tensioner pulley here, you will see the spot there, right there. That's a ½ inch. So your serpentine tool, there's just the straight handle part has the 3/8, and then your end here, if you needed this as an adapter, has the ½ inch on it. So we're going to stick the ½ inch adapter part down there, and then we'll use the rest of this handle to put it in there on an angle far enough to where we can get enough leverage. And I'm going to zip tie this belt up so it doesn't fall off and then I have to reroute the whole belt. So to use this serpentine tool, take your small piece first. Alright, and again, I apologize if it's hard to see down in here, but you want to go to your tensioner pulley right there, and we're going to put this, it's hard to get that camera in here, there we go, it slid right in there. Okay, let's make sure it's going to stay in there. Alright, now that's in there. Now you can take your longer piece, and probably should have two hands for this so I don't knock the other piece off, but basically you want to interlock it into that piece right there. See if I can get this to lock in there. There it goes. If I just pull back on this, there we go. Now the tension, you can see the tension coming off of the belt there. Take the tension off the belt here. I'm gonna slide the belt off. Now I can release the tension on it. Just keep a finger on the belt so it doesn't drop down in there. I'm gonna try to get this zip tie around it now. And I would get a really long zip tie. I apologize that you can't see this, but I can't let go now. With the tool, I got the belt off here. The belt started falling down. I held it with my finger and I zip tied it up to this wire here. So that's keeping this belt from falling completely down and having to rewrap it up. Now I can take my 9/16 and we want to get down there onto that pulley. So let's see, and I'll bring the camera down there afterwards if I can. Alright, so my ratchet drive is down on that pulley there. Alright, and you may or may not, let me get my arm down there, need a leverage bar. All right, we're gonna oh, we don't need one, so we're gonna unscrew that. It's not reverse thread or anything like that. And again, I apologize, I can't get this camera down in there. There's literally about 4 inches of space here between the fan and this pulley. But there she comes. We'll pull that up. And there's our, this was our pulley that was wobbling back and forth and making a little bit of noise. Alright, as you see, they are pretty much identical. My only concern though is that this actually doesn't feel like the bearing is loose inside or anything. I mean, there is some scoring on this. It's dug in a little bit, but the pulley did have a slight wobble to it, so maybe it's because that bolt was loose. I don't know, but we already got it out. And this one you're basically just going to lower down in there and put that 9/16 bolt back in. Did put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads there, and let's get up there and lower this down in. Let's put the bolt back in there first, then we're going to lower it down there. And it's hard to see down there. You're going to have to kind of feel around with your fingers to get it back to the hole where it was. All right, now we're going to try to feed our belt back over that the way it was. And make sure that none of your other belts came off in the process. Not other belts, but you know, same belt, but just make sure it didn't come off any of the other pulleys. And we seem to look okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and now just finish tightening up that pulley, and then we will cut this zip tie, and we'll put this serpentine belt back on. I do not have my torque wrench here with me today, so I do not have the exact torque to give you on this right now. All right, our pulley's on, it's nice and tight. Now we're going to cut the zip tie, put our serpentine tool in there. All right guys, so putting the belt back on, I ran into a little issue. My serpentine tool was pretty much, could only go this far over, and I was hitting everything here. So unless I'm gonna dismantle all this stuff to get my leverage bar in there farther, because what was happening was when I'm coming down here, I'm not getting enough swing on this for the tensioner pulley, so because that's way too long. So taking it off, that works, but putting it back on, you're probably gonna have to go with your 1/2 inch socket. It's got a shorter handle, which is gonna allow me to actually get under all of this stuff under here and still pull full swing. Our belt is back on, and definitely use the ratchet to get that back on. I was actually able to get it down on there, and I had a nice long pull here to give me that extra tension I needed to get that belt back up on there. Please guys, hit subscribe below, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.